No gold is not enough.
Yo guys, Mystic here, and I'm going to be teaching you everything to do with mining in 7 Days to Die. So we've got a lot of information to cover, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so first off, there are 3 different types of tools for mining. We have the tools for mining ore, we have the tools for mining clay and sand, and finally we have the tools for mining wood. So there are 4 different tiers within each type of tool. So first off, we have our stone tools, which are the stone axe and the stone shovel. Next we have our iron tools, then we upgrade to the steel tools, and finally for the mining ores and clay you can use the auger, which is a lot faster for mining, but it does use gasoline. But because of using the gasoline, it does not require stamina to use. And for using wood, you can use the chainsaw, which works similar to the auger. So getting into the tiers itself, first off we have the stone axe. Now as you can see, you want to look at the block damage, because this is how much the axe or the tool will do per swing. So as you can see, this does 32 block damage and costs 8 stamina to use with 105 attacks per minute. Then if we upgrade to the iron pickaxe, as you can see, it does 52 block damage with 18 stamina cost and 63 attacks per minute. Now you would think, because you can nearly do double the attacks per minute with the stone axe, that it's a little bit worse or a little bit better than the iron pickaxe, but this is wrong, because when you get higher into the game, when you've got your levels, you can equip stamina perks. So this does not use as much stamina whatsoever, and it really just gets through the stone. And finally, we have the steel pickaxe, which does 94 block damage and costs 27 stamina. And then after the steel pickaxe, we have the auger, which obviously does 31 block damage, has a fuel capacity of 311, and does 310 attacks per minute. Now this just shreds through any clay or stone that you are mining it with. Then for the clay and the shovels, we have the stone shovel, which does 57 block damage and costs 16 stamina. Next we go to the iron, which does 68 block damage and costs 20 stamina. Then we have the steel shovel, which does 104 block damage and costs 25 stamina. So with the shovels, it is a lot easier to see the which tool is the better one. Of course we have the auger, which is the exact same as the one with the pickaxes. And finally we have the wood gathering tools, which is the axes. So first off we have the stone axe, which is the exact same as the one you would use for mining ores, which is 32 blocks and 8 stamina cost. Next we have the iron fire axe, which does 67 block damage, which costs 20 stamina to use. And finally we have the steel axe, which does 129 blocks of damage and 31 stamina cost. And then, like the auger, the chainsaw uses gasoline, so it does not require stamina usage, and it does 36 block damage per 310 attacks per minute. Okay, so next up we have the mods for the tools. Now for the pickaxes, what you mainly want to be using on them is the iron breaker mod, which does 15% more damage against iron, and the bunker buster mod, which does 15% more damage against stone. So when you are grinding for the big bases, getting the concrete, you do want to have these 2 equipped, as it does really help in gathering and just cutting down the time in which you need to grind. And then for the steel shovel, you mainly just want to use the gravedigger mod, which does 15% more damage against dirt. And for the axes is obviously the wood splitter mod, which does 15% damage against wood. Now you can also use the tempered blade mod, which increases block damage by 10% and lowers degradation by 15%. So this will do more damage to the blocks that you are using it against, and the tool will degrade slower, so you'll be able to use it for longer. There is also the diamond blade tip mod, which any hand tool or blade weapon degrades 40% slower with this modification. And if you really have to and you don't have anything else to use, you can throw on the serrated blade mod, but I would not recommend this. There is also the structural brace mod, which this modification for melee weapons and tools lowers degradation by 25%, and the ergonomic grip mod, which decreases stamina by 10% and increases handling of bows, which doesn't really matter for this. Now for the auger and chainsaw, you really want to be using the motor tools small tank mod. So this increases the tank size by 50% for chainsaws and augers, and then you have the one for 100%. So if you do find these out when you're looting or at the traders, buy them straight away, as you'll make the auger and chainsaw much better for using and grinding resources. Okay, so for the perks that you use for mining, you'll need to go in your strength tree, and it is at the bottom under the construction perks. You have -69er and motherload. So -69er, maximize your mining efforts by increasing tool damage to bring down rocks and trees faster. So at level 1 you can craft quality 2 poor tools. You increase your tool damage by 10% and block damage by 30 with any axe, pickaxe, chainsaw or auger. And as you go up in the levels, this will get higher and higher, and by level 5 at -69er, you are the legendary -69er and can find the juicy centre of any rock faster than a horny bullfrog. Increase block damage by 150% and damage by 50%. So at the early game, this is very useful to get. Next is motherload, which in the basis makes you and lets you harvest more resources. So at level 1 you found your first small vein and are envy of all the Johnny Newcomes. Harvest 20% more ore stone from terrain blocks and trees with any axe, pickaxe, chainsaw or auger. And by level 5 you'll be harvesting 100% more ore from any stone, terrain, blocks or trees. So having these two paired together with your level 6 tools will grant you a lot of resources for grinding the massive bases out to survive against the horde of the undead scum. And next is the volumes for mining. So we have the Art of Mining, which has 7 books that you'll need to find either through looting, or you can buy them at the trader, or you can also get them as rewards from the trader by completing quests. So there are 7 of these volumes, and for the first one, this is Lucky Strike, which basically you are able to get rare gems from mining ore. So if you mine a block of iron, you can get a diamond, gold or silver nugget from. Number 2 is diamond tools. So this is where you can craft the diamond tipped blade mods for tools, so it will increase its durability. Next is coffee. So if you are drinking coffee when mining, you'll harvest 10% more from all ores when you are buzzed. Next is the just crafting blackstrap coffee. So this works well with volume 3, as you can get 10% more ores from it, and by using coffee your stamina will keep you going, so you won't run out when you're mining. But obviously this won't matter if you are using the auger or the chainsaw. Next is that you can just craft basic resources like ore, stone and wood into more compact stacks, so it's easier to carry. So instead of having a stack of 5,000, you can just have 5 stacks of 5,000 each, but in one single stack, if that makes sense. Next is you can take 50% less damage from collapsing mines. So if you unfortunately make your way and the mine collapses, if you take out the wrong block, you'll take 50% less damage, which will really save you yourself if anything happens like that. And finally is the learn how to craft lanterns and mining helmets. Now this is really good early in the game, but later on you'll most likely have found a mining helmet or got the helmet light mod. And if you get all 7 of these books and learn them all, you then have a 20% chance to one-shot any ore. So if you are going for the grinding and massive base builds, this is really something that you should learn. Okay, so to craft the stone axe, the stone shovel and also the stone axe again for each class, you'll only need plant fibers, wood, and small stone. So if we go into our crafting menu, all you need are 2 small stones, 2 plant fibers, and 2 wood. So early on in the game, this really isn't a hard tool to make, so it is quite easy. Next, to make the iron pickaxe, the iron shovel, and the iron axe, all you will need is 20 forged iron, 10 wood, 2 leather, and 2 duct tape. So early on, if you get your forge going, I do recommend making the iron pickaxe, but I will only make them once you get your -69 skill to around level 3, which is Muckman, so you'll be able to craft a quality 4 tool, because anything lower than that is really just a waste, and the stone axe will be a lot better for you. And then finally, to craft the steel pickaxe, the steel shovel, and the steel axe, you'll need steel tool parts, which you can find by looting buildings and POIs, or by buying them from the trader. So early game, if you find any steel tool parts, make sure to keep them in your inventory, keep them in your chests at home just to be safe, so you'll be able to build them when you have unlocked them with the crucible. And you'll also need wood, forged steel, leather, and duct tape. But to make the crucible, which you'll need to make forged steel, is you'll actually have to go into advanced engineering and learn the one where you can craft the crucible, which is tier 5. So you'll need to get your intelligence tree maxed out to level 10, in fact, to get the crucible schematic, or you can get it from looting or from the traders. It is just very, very unlikely. Okay, so next we have the different resources which you can find. Now, for finding stone, you can either go mining underground or find these little boulders, which when you smack them will give you a certain amount of stone, and when you break them fully from the 400, you'll get a lot more. And you also, there are 3 stages to this boulder, so if you're grinding it out, make sure to grind it all the way down. Then for wood, simple enough, it is you literally just go up to a tree, left click, and you'll get wood in your inventory. Now, as you can see, with these steel tools, you are getting a lot more wood per swing, but it does take a lot of stamina. So the other option later down the game is to use the chainsaw. As you can see, my stamina is, we'll wait till it is at full right now. All you do is hold left click, and it gets through the tree pretty quickly. As you can see, my stamina didn't degrade whatsoever at that point, but we did lose a little bit of gasoline. And by using the auger or the chainsaw, you'll actually create a heat map for that chunk, so you can in fact get screamers. Also, for mining stone, you can just use the auger by the same thing as the chainsaw and just hold left click. And as you can see, it degrades and gets through it much quicker. Next, for mining clay, all you need to do is, where you can find this in any biome, is literally just left click on the ground with your shovel, and as you can see, clay will come into your inventory. You'll also be able to use your auger for mining clay, which is a lot faster. So later down the line, I would recommend using the auger. Next, for nitrate, which is primarily found in the forest biome, all you are looking for is this little white spiky rock, and when you hit it, you get nitrate and stone. And when you're mining, after you've broken this block, you can go down and there should be more ores down below in the vein. Next up is, if you are looking for coal, it is like this black round ball here, which is primarily found in the forest biome. And all you do is, when you break it down fully, we'll use the auger here to max this out. It should say, looks like there is more ore below, and if you just break the floor around it, there will be more down below, so you can in fact just make a vein and have a big mine of all this stuff. Now, for collecting sand, there are 2 ways to collect sand. So obviously, one is in the desert biome, which is where you can literally just smack the ground and you will get sand. But obviously I'm in a forest biome right now, so if you're not in a desert biome or you don't want to have one nearby, if you actually find this gravelly type of surface, if you hit it you will get stone and sand. So this is very useful if you're trying to get cemented. You can easily mine a lot of this. It only has 200 hit points, so you'll be able to make that cement and concrete mix a lot quicker. Next up, if you are trying to find any nitrate, you are looking for this squarish grey block here, and like with the coal or the nitrate, if you do break it, there should be some more ore below to be able to create a vein. And last but certainly not least is if you're looking for iron, you're looking for this greyish with a red tint block, and obviously if you mine this all the way to the bottom, it does give you another vein, and as you can see the iron does go up quite a lot. So if you have motherload and mine at 69 all the way to the top, you'll be gaining fast amounts of iron, so you'll be easily making forged steel. And finally we have the candy that helps with mining, which are the rock busters. Now you find these in vending machines all over the place, mainly in the traders, which you go and you literally just go right up to the vending machine, you buy them for 100 jukes each, and these gives you a mining harvest of 20% for 10 minutes. So if you pop one of these, as you can see, you get a little symbol in your bottom left hand corner, and this is basically just telling you that you have 9 minutes left of your buff. So if you're going out for a massive grinding session, bring your rock busters because they'll be very helpful. Okay, so now that you have learned everything to do with mining in 7 days to die, you'll be able to grind up the massive bases that you've always been dreaming of and survive against the zombie scum. So if you did enjoy this episode and you did find it helpful, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you're new here. This has been Mystic, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.